Joining me now is Steve Cortes, America First national spokesman, and Chris Hahn, former aide to Senator Chuck Schumer and host of the Aggressive Progressive podcast. Steve, let's start with you. Every time we kind of begin to peel back the onion on what Biden or a lot of the Democrats are saying, we always find it's not at all how they plan to govern. Because when you peel it back, it's always going further and further left. How does this work out?
No, it certainly is. Look, Joe Biden's handlers and their allies in the corporate media want us to believe in the myth of the moderate Biden. But here's the actual reality. Biden is simply an empty vessel, and he is too weak to stand up against the most radical elements of the Democratic Party. So instead, he bows down to them and caters to their agenda. They are the ones driving the policy agenda, and this is clear. And you're so right, Laura, that some of them are actually transparent enough to be honest with us and tell us things like defund the police means exactly that, and banning fracking, endangering millions of jobs around the country. So the net takeaway from his policy agenda that this empty vessel, again, has acquiesced towards, the net takeaway is that you won't be safe in your neighborhood and you won't be safe in your paycheck in Joe Biden's America. And voters need to look past the media myth of the moderate.
Chris, tonight, Joe Biden was in a pre-taped remarks at something called the Virtual Climate Change Town Hall. And he talked about what he's going to do with a clean energy economy. Watch.
We're going to build back America better than it was before, and our country's infrastructure will be both sustainable and resilient. We're going to upgrade millions of buildings, install hundreds of millions of solar panels, tens of thousands of wind turbines. We're going to advance well on our way to a 100% clean energy economy.
First of all, he sounds like he's sleeping. Second of all, didn't Obama promise all that in 8 years, and we got Solyndra and $535 million down the tubes?
I think we have an opportunity right now to build a clean energy economy. Look, I mean, we have a president in the Oval Office for the first time in my lifetime, maybe in anybody's lifetime, has advocated for higher gas prices for the American people. I don't think that helps people in Michigan or Florida or Arizona. It only helps a few billionaires down in Texas. I don't understand why he would do that or why anybody would support that. We should be moving towards a clean energy economy. Joe Biden wants to do that. As for all the other stuff we talked about in this segment, let me be very clear. Joe Biden has a record of 45 years of hearing all sides and then choosing a center-left path to try to help move this country forward. That's his record. That's who he is. To say he's an empty vessel is just ridiculous. It's wishful
Chris,
thinking.
That's exactly what he is. He's an empty vessel. And by the way, tell me what is centrist about saying that the American taxpayer should pay for health care for illegal aliens. Tell me what's centrist about that. What's centrist about saying that Beto O'Rourke, the gun-grabbing former congressman, is going to be the czar of firearms policy under a Joe Biden administration? These are not centrist people nor centrist positions.
Well, hold on, guys. I got to play something for you. Chris, hold the thought for a second, because I want to play something. You can respond afterward. Elizabeth Warren today, I think she kind of let it slip just how Biden's going to be changing. Watch.
Vote like your life depends on it. One, because it does. Pick any issue you care about. I guarantee it is on the line in this election. If it's dismantling systemic racism, Joe Biden, he's going to strengthen America's commitment to justice and to reform our criminal justice system. If it's for student debt, Joe is in the fight to help cancel student loan debt.
Help cancel student loan debt? Chris, is that moderate? How much is that going to cost?
Look, if you're one of the millions of Americans that's drowning in student loan debt and you're seeing banks and airlines getting bailed out, why not bail out the American citizens who are drowning in student loan debt? Education costs way too much in this country, and something needs to be done to that. As for your health care remark, we are already paying for illegal immigrants getting health care when they go to our emergency room. Why don't we have a system that doesn't cause that costs less? Why don't we face the reality in this country? We have millions of Americans right now that the president is trying to kick off their health care through getting rid of Obamacare in the courts right now.
So,
that
Chris,
needs to end. This president should drop that suit right now.
Chris, take a breath. Do you actually think that Biden is going to not put forward policies that end up outsourcing more American jobs to China? You think he'll be tougher on China than Trump has been? Are you going to make that argument tonight?
Yeah. Yeah, this president
Really?
got rolled by China. That's why we're in this mess right now with COVID-19. He listened to President Xi, probably because his daughter got all those trademarks from President Xi early in the administration, and Trump's probably got some other business deals we don't know about. But I don't know. All I'm saying is this. Nobody could be worse on China than Trump is.
Are you kidding me? No one believes this.
Here's the reality.
No one believes
the president
this.
had to
Cortes
quote,
had to
pay
get
the
in.
farmers.
Here's the
no
reality
one believes
regarding
that Biden is going to be tougher on China. They had 8 years to be tougher on China. The only time China came to the tables was with tariffs. Hold on. Don't talk over
Trump
me. Go ahead,
let China kill us with COVID-19.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, because Biden would have come out of the basement to stop the virus from coming on a plane.
He
wasn't for the travel ban, my friend.
In January,
Give
Trump
me a
should not
break.
be believing
He doesn't
China.
have any
It's on the
strategy.
record.
Go ahead,
he said
Steve.
it in a debate in January.
Oh, please. He can't even come out to debate he's never going to debate the president. Give me a break. Steve,
Trump
go ahead.
will not debate.
Close
Trust
it up.
me.
Close it out, Steve.
Here is the reality of Joe Biden when it comes to China. He has been the best friend Beijing could have during his decades, his nearly half century as a dinosaur in the Washington swamp. He was at the forefront of approving their inclusion into the WTO, which has led to the outsourcing of millions of manufacturing jobs from the United States, particularly from the heartland, over to China. And he has been on a personal level totally compromised because of his son's activities. Forget about what happened with Burisma. That's bad enough, but that pales in comparison to what Hunter Biden did with the Bank of China in alignment with the Chinese Communist Party.
All right, guys, we got to go. But I can't wait to see an actual debate, if it actually happens, between Biden and Trump and have China come up. I'm praying for it. Last week, a whistleblower sent our next guest a trove of documents about a